we are talking about a tweet from Nicki Manaj. Nicki Manaj today issued a tweet on Twitter announcing her retirement, right? She says, and I'm quoting her directly, "I've decided to retire and have my family. I know you guys are happy now. To my fans, keep repping me. Do it to the death of me. X in the box because ain't nobody checking me. Love you to life." Now, let's talk about this a little bit. The first thing that we have to look at here is this really a retirement? And what does this really mean? Now, first, let's just look at where she put this at, right? She posted her retirement on Twitter. Twitter is not the place that we post retirements, right? We announce retirements in press conferences. We announce retirements at interviews if we're artists. We have retirement parties, but we do not post an announcement about our retirements on Twitter. Now, the fact that she did announce it on Twitter lets you know one thing. It lets you know that it was an impromptu decision. And when somebody makes an impromptu decision about retirement, it means what they're really saying is that I'm pissed off at somebody and I don't want to deal with you anymore. Now, let's look at what else happened in this tweet. In this tweet, she actually says, "I know that you are happy now," right? And when she says that I know that you are happy now, she's talking about in the second person, right? Which means that she's not even talking to her fans in this tweet. In fact, her fans are an afterthought, right? The people that she addressed this tweet to were actually the people that she thought that would be happy that she's retiring, which means that she's talking to the people that she thinks doesn't like her, right? The fact that she's talking to the people that she believes doesn't like her lets you know that this is not a real retirement. This is a tantrum that she's throwing because she is upset at somebody, right? The next thing that I want you to look at when she talks about this tweet is that she's saying, "Hey, I'm retiring because I want to go and start my family now," right? As if you can't do both of those at the same time. You can't have a career and have a family. Now, we all know that you can have a career and have a family at the same time. In fact, her arch nemesis already did it. In fact, they are still doing it, right? Nobody wants to mention Cardi B's name in this particular situation, but her arch nemesis already did that, had a family, got married, had a child, and still has a career. So there is nothing that implies that you can't have a family and have a hip hop career at the same time. What's really going on is that she feels like she can't celebrate her relationship the way that Cardi B's relationship has been celebrated, right? And the reason that she can't celebrate her newfound relationship is because the new love of her life is a registered sex offender. So not only can she not celebrate it, but people are not going to acknowledge it and promote it the way that they did with Cardi B. So she's a little bit upset about that. And in exchange, she's saying the equivalent of, "I'm taking my ball and I'm going home." Now, when my entrepreneur friends ask me about this and they say, "Okay, how do you feel about the fact that Nicki Minaj is retiring? And do you think that she should be retiring?" Guys, let me say, this is not a retirement, right? Everything about this tweet goes to show that this is not a retirement. This is a strategy that rappers use when they are in the very, very end of their career and they're panicking, right? We saw so many rappers do this in the past. We saw Lil Wayne do it. We saw Jay-Z do it. We've seen tons of rappers do it before. And what they do, this is a business strategy move. It's a business strategy move that is ran by a mini-me, right? Because this is your emotions that are telling you, "Hey, I'm taking my ball and going home. I don't want to play with you guys anymore, so I'm retiring. I'm quitting," right? So what they're doing is they're saying, "Hey, I'm going to quit," in hopes that all of my fans come and say, "No, please don't leave me, stay." And then all of a sudden you can make a comeback because there's a higher demand. It's the equivalent of when you go to your mate and you say, "You know what? I like you, I love you, but I don't think this is going to work," in hopes that they're going to come back to you and say, "No, I really love you. Let me profess my love." And now they appreciate you more. No, Nicki Minaj is not retiring. We will see and hear from her in the next few months with some new music or a new feature or a new project. And why? Because Nicki Minaj is not interested in retirement. Nicki Minaj is interested in attention.